I've been using Petzl head torches, well, basically since I've been using head torches. So when Petzl said, do you want to try the new Swift RL? Of course, I was very excited. So before I go into all its functions and what makes it so awesome, I'd like to just say I've had the Swift RL predecessor for absolutely ages and it's been absolutely amazing. If I'm honest, it doesn't really need replacing, but pretty excited to try the new one. Also, all you avid Outside YouTube fans, which I'm sure you all are, I reviewed the Swift LT earlier in the year, which has just been brilliant as well. Pack's really small, used it a lot this winter, nice new headband. Check that video out, you hopefully can see that on our channel. So when its big brother came along, it's time to try it out. The new Swift RL is even brighter and better than its predecessor, and it still features that brilliant function Reactive. So if you don't already know what Reactive is, Petzl has been doing it for quite a few years now, is it's got a sensor on the front of this head torch. So basically it uses exactly what you need. If I turn it on now, obviously the sun's out, it's still bright, it'll look really dull because you don't need hardly any light at the moment, next to none. And that's the same when you're using it at night. Obviously, it'll just give you a little bit if you need just a little bit in front of you for reading, etc. Take the book away or look into the distance, it will brighten right up to that maximum level, which is really, really bright. So Petzl reckon when the Swift's at full power, that can see 155 meters away. That's amazing. I would say that feels about right. It's such a beast. I've been really impressed with how bright this thing is. I'll show you all the other functions that the head torch can do in a minute, but firstly I'd like to bring your attention to the new head strap. I think this is lovely. It feels super comfy. It's sort of a beefed up version of what was on the Swift LT. The elasticated cord's great, easy to slide, so I can stick on my head, no problem. You can even strip it down to make it lighter if you wish and take this padding bit away. I guess you could wash it. I don't think I'd bother taking that off because it's not exactly a heavy thing, is it? In fact, the whole head torch on its own only weighs in at 92 grams, so considering how bright it is, that's a lot of lumens for your weight and your pack size. Another simple and obvious upgrade for me is the fact that it's now USB-C, which nearly everything is charging off now. My old one was micro USB, which is a bit annoying because it's the only thing I've got that still charges off that, so that's really cool as well. And even though the charging slot is exposed, it actually gets an IPX rating of 4, which is not fully waterproof, but basically you'll be fine in downpours and rain. I've used it in winter so far and it gets soaking in the bag and it seems to perform absolutely fine. It's really easy to spin the whole thing around and take the battery off, so you can exchange the battery if you want, if it does happen to run out on the hill. It's got a real simple battery indicator on the side here, so as soon as you've turned it off, having had it on, it'll show you within those 5 bars how much power's left, 1 to 5. Really simple and easy to understand. So going back to the features and functions, it's only got one button, which makes it really easy to use, and it always starts in reactive mode. Now, I personally love reactive mode because it's so easy to get a head torch like this, put it on full power, and then it quite quickly burns all the battery. So reactive makes your battery last much, much, much longer because it's using just the right amount. Now, you can obviously turn that off as well, but I'll run you through the reactive functions first because that's what comes up first. So like I said, it's bright now. This is not going to look like a lot because it's in reactive mode, but you turn it on, it's on low setting, set into the middle, and then brighter. So essentially all of those modes are still in reactive, and if it was dark and we were running around or moving about, you would see it go from low to medium to full brightness, and then between those it will give you the right amount of light you need. So if you imagine you're using it in reactive mode, once you first click it once, it will maximum go up to 100 lumens, twice it will go up to 275 lumens, and of course if you put it on full whack it will go all the way up to 1200 lumens, super bright. However, if you want to turn reactive mode off, which you can, it's quite easy to do so. Now the only reason I think you might want to do that is if it's really misty and sort of maybe your light is bouncing back off the fog, if you're looking back and forth at someone else wearing a head torch and it's jumping up and down in its brightness, sometimes it can be helpful to just turn it off. So you turn it on like that, hold it down, and it will turn to normal mode. So you see the flicker there. So now I'm on 10 lumens. So 3 different settings again. In the standard mode, you've got 10 lumens, click it again, it'll go to 190 lumens, and then you click it again to the top mode, it goes to 800 lumens. Now you're thinking, you said it was 1200 lumens, why has it gone to only 800? I think Petzl think 800 is more than enough for nearly everything you're going to do, and if you put it to that 1200 you might just burn it out too quickly. However, at any stage while you've got it in this standard function, you can get it to boost mode. click it twice on the side, and we've got that 1200 lumens, but that only comes up for 6 seconds. Now that's quite good because otherwise it's too tempting to leave it like that all the time. The Swift RL also features red light, which I find really useful, particularly for navigating at night, because you don't want to lose your night vision, or actually use it for reading, because if someone else is asleep, it's less disturbing. But what you do is when it's on, hold it down and it will get to a red light soon. There you go, red light. Click it again and you'll get flickering, which is really useful for emergency distress sort of beacon. The last feature you've got on here, which again I think is really useful because you don't want to waste all your battery leaving it on in your bag, is there is a lock function. Still one button, so dead easy. While it's off, hold it down quite a long time and you'll see it flicker a little red light and you will know it's now locked. So if I click it accidentally in my bag, all I'll get is a little flicker going, I'm locked, remember? Hold it down and it will unlock and you'll be able to use it again in the dark. So we've done head torch videos before and I know what all the comments are going to say. How long does it last in this mode? Blah, blah, blah. There's loads of different modes. Please come in the shop and speak to us or look at all the stats on our website. But I'll give you the simple one. What they reckon is most people will use it on reactive mode in the medium setting and you get a minimum of 7 hours burn time. So that's for most activities, that's more than enough and it will be bright enough for what you're doing. And of course, do remember, it's really easy to change the battery and you can get spare batteries from our shop. But anyway, that's all the stats. In use, I think it is amazing. In fact, when I first took it out climbing, it was obviously dark. We actually ended up putting it in a tree and pointing at the rocks. It was so bright, it was brighter than the lanterns we'd taken and just wore smaller head torches. I've also used it walking into Ben Nevis in the winter, and it was nice to have it on reactive mode, knowing I was saving that main power for later in the day if I really needed it while getting off the hill. And like I've already stressed, I absolutely love the new headband. I just think it's so comfy and the way it adjusts super easily, fits on a helmet nicely. I think loads of people are going to use this for running. In fact, I think most people will buy it for running. But what's quite cool compared to other running head torches is it's much more versatile because obviously it packs much smaller. You could easily put it in a helmet, take it climbing, etc. It feels really burly, so I can chuck it around and leave it rattling around in my rucksack. And it also comes with a really cool little storage bag. Now that actually doubles up as like a little lantern. You can pop it in there, turn it on, hang it in your tent and it'll feel like a lantern, lighting up the air and dispersing it nicely. So just a little tip that I like to do is, everyone used to take spare batteries or battery packs for their head torch. I actually prefer to carry another head torch now because something like the Swift LT can be a perfect complement to the Swift RL. Nice and light. You know, imagine this one did break or you lost the battery or you lost the head torch but had the battery. That's no good at all. Having a spare head torch is not a bad idea because it weighs about the same as a spare battery anyway. So like I said at the start, I've always used Petzl head torches. I've got total faith in them. And looking at the new Swift RL, looks like I'll be continuing to use Petzl head torches. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see all the stats, like I say, come in the shop. Maybe you'll have a look on our website. If you did enjoy it and you want to see all the other videos like the Swift LT, please think about subscribing to the YouTube channel. We'll hopefully see you at the next one.